this happy place, welcome.
Hey guys, it's Tim, and I'm here with my beautiful wife, Adrienne.
This is Dreaming of Disney podcast. Maybe that's what I'll say. No.
Sounds like a plan. Welcome to the Dreaming of Disney podcast, where we talk about all things Disney, mainly Disney parks, Disneyland.
Yeah.
And we just got back. Well, not just back. We were a week ago.
Week and a half ago.
So last week we did part one, where it was our day one of three and a half.
Yeah.
3.5. So we're getting into day two and more.
Yeah.
So, the first 2 days were pretty action packed because we had friends with us who haven't been in a long time. And so we packed a lot in.
Yeah. And they weren't staying as long as we did. So we wanted to make sure that, we got to all the good stuff, which we'll get into it, but we
did everything.
We did everything and more.
Well, we did everything. We did everything in California Adventure.
Yes.
We did every single.
That you could too, because Grizzly River Run was closed, so obviously, things like that. But
we did every single Genie Plus.
Yeah. We could,
except racers. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But before we start, one, we forgot to bring this up last week, that the latest news coming out of the Disney shareholder meeting, Bob Iger announced an Avatar experience is coming to Disneyland. Oh, right.
We found out about that while we were there.
Yes. Found out that an Avatar experience, that's all they said. He said an Avatar experience similar to Disney World is coming to Disneyland.
Now, let's hope that they're not talking about Navi River Journey. Beautiful. If you've never ridden it, I'm going to spoil it for you because here's the thing. The wait is long.
Super long.
If you have Genie Plus, then it's fine. But the wait is always super long. So last year, going into our first trip to Disney World, we're looking at wait times leading up to our trip to kind of get an idea. And we're like, this ride must be awesome. It's always like an hour plus.
Yeah.
We get the Genie Plus for us. Thankfully, we didn't have to wait. It's beautiful inside. The lights and everything. Mm-hmm. And then it's over.
Yeah. I was expecting something like Pirates, where it's like at least some kind of drop or something.
And there really wasn't a story.
No.
At least not that I picked up on. And again, It was an overwhelming trip. I'm sure there's so much that we missed. And so we could have just been going and missed it. But you're waiting for something to happen. And then all of a sudden you come around this corner where you get off the boat. And you're like, what? Wait, so anyways, I always make fun of it, but it is beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I also say that Flight of Passage is the most amazing ride I've ever been on.
For sure.
So if it's something like that, obviously they said it's probably not going to be an exact, or is it going to be a land? There's not really, where would they even put another land?
I have no idea where it will go.
Or a show. It could just be like a show. It might not be a ride.
Yeah, it may be, but something Avatar is coming to Disneyland. I don't know where it obviously wouldn't fit in California Adventure because that's all about California. Well, I guess you could say.
Oh, you mean theming wise?
Yeah.
Right.
You could say Avengers Campus doesn't fit in California Adventure either because it doesn't take place in California. But
Cars Land.
Yeah. That's actually
Pixar though. So California Adventure is California, but it's also you have Pixar Pier.
Yeah, that's true.
So Cars Land is Pixar. Avengers, who knows? That's random. So they could put it in California because let's stick that other random thing we own in there.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where in Disneyland it would go. There's not much more room that they can expand. It's not like Disney World where they have all this land that they can. But Disneyland, they're landlocked by the streets and neighborhoods around it.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. It'll be in like 2030.
Yeah, we'll see what they announce later. But so that's coming. That was really the only Disney park news. I mean, they did announce sequels to Frozen, Zootopia, and Toy Story.
Ridiculous.
Which is Frozen. Okay,
We'll see.
Zootopia.
It's pushing it a bit. It's pushing it a bit.
Zootopia is good. That only had one, but Toy Story 5. I mean,
it's
come on,
ridiculous. And that makes it sound like I don't love Toy Story. I love Toy Story.
Favorite Pixar.
It's your favorite Pixar. I can't really pick a favorite, but like it's tied with a bunch of others. Yeah. But I did not think they needed a 4.
Yeah.
3 ended well. I made up a story in my mind of when Andy grows up and has kids of his own and then comes back and Bonnie still has the toys, but she's going off to college. So she gives them back to Andy for his kids. Perfect ending in my mind. Mm-hmm. Then they made 4, not needed. I don't like the way they ended it. So now what? It's pushing it. It's pushing it way too much.
Yeah.
They are stretching it. You're just like, this could have ended much like.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. She was referring to Star Wars if you didn't catch that.
Episode 6 is a great ending.
Anyways, I like the new Star Wars, but that's me. We got a really nice message on Instagram.
We did.
From Roman. And so thank you, Roman, for your review and your 5-star rating on Spotify. I appreciate that. If you leave a review or you message us on Instagram,
or you hit those 5 stars.
Hit those stars. We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. So I'm just going to read his message, and he has some questions for us, and then we'll get into the trip recap. So him and his wife, they're heading to Disneyland in March, and it's their first time since 2019.
Nice.
And so he was unable to convince his wife to go for more than one day. So they only are going one day. He wants to go a second. He's hoping that he can convince his wife to do 2 days and get that second day.
So you got to make the first day good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now they only have one reservation for one day at Disneyland.
Okay.
This is our first time since 2019 pre-pandemic, and so much has changed at Disneyland, which I've learned since listening to your podcast. Thank you. We flipped for the Genie Plus, which seems like a no-brainer for the price, and plan on taking an additional $200 for lightning lanes in hopes of getting as much action as possible in one day, even though I know Adrian's opinions on lightning lanes.
I guess I make that clear.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
So he has some questions.
Okay.
So, he's lots of change since the pandemic, since opening back up, reservations, all that good stuff.
Right.
So his first question is, how do we mobile order food? Besides Pizza Planet, what is your favorite recommendation for lunch? Do you have to be near that restaurant to order?
Okay.
So I'll handle the mobile order if you want to talk about other recommendations for
Okay. All right.
for eating. So mobile order is really easy. It's pretty much just like if you're mobile ordering from Starbucks or any other restaurant. Download the Disneyland app. There's a little plus button down the middle, and you can hit that. You hit order food.
Oh, that's not how I do it.
You can do. There's like 5 different ways you can do it.
Well, you say how you do it, and I'll say how I do it. And so options.
So you can either do it through the plus button and then click order food, and then it'll give you the restaurants that are around you that are nearby.
Oh, I've never done it that way. Oh,
or you can go to your map and you can find a restaurant that way. Click on the hit order food, or you can go to the search bar. You can search for the specific restaurant and then click on it and click order from that restaurant.
Because the way I do it is I go to the map, and then at the top there's a little down arrow, so you can look at attractions, characters, dining, entertainment, restrooms, and I go to dining. And then I just pick whatever restaurant I'm looking at on the map. And whenever you click one, and you'll see on the map, there's ones like little symbols that just have like a fork and knife.
Yep.
And then there's ones that have like, looks like a little iPad, like with a fork and knife. And those are the ones that offer mobile order.
Yep.
And so when you click on that, it'll say order food.
Yeah.
So that's how I do it. But I didn't realize that with the plus
Yeah. And
button. I see that now. Yeah.
So you do not have to be near the restaurant to order. You could be in California Adventure and order from Pizza Planet in Disneyland.
Yeah. We did that over the summer or something. We were walking into the park and we ordered lunch at Pizza Planet for like an hour from then because we knew we just wanted to get that out of the way. You could order all of your meals for the entire day in the morning because you pick a time slot.
Yep.
So when you hit order food, then it'll show you different time slots, the earliest time slot to, the latest. And so, it could be 10 o'clock in the morning. And you're like, hey, I know I want to eat dinner here.
Yeah.
And we're going to be there about 6 o'clock. I'm going to pick that time frame and you could order your food.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And so once you get close to your time, your window for your mobile order, you can, starting about 5 minutes early before your window, there will be a little button that pops up saying, I'm here, start making my order. So they won't start.
And that's on the homepage, right, of the app?
It's either on the homepage or you can go to the menu and then you can go to your mobile food orders. And then you can select your most recent order and it'll tell you either you're too early or start preparing my order. And so it tells you not to do that until you are actually there at the restaurant. My recommendation is if you want it ready by the time you walk there, because sometimes depending on the restaurant, it may take another 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes for them to make your food, depending on how busy they are.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever waited 20.
Sometimes it's been pretty long. So what I usually do is I hit that once I'm in that window that allows me to say that I'm here. I may be at, the Disneyland gates walking in.
No.
No?
No. It won't let you until you're somewhat close.
Really?
You have to be within a range.
Oh.
I have done it before where it's my time slot. I can't remember where you were. You were on a ride or something. And it says like you're not close enough.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
I think you're right.
it
Yeah,
knows
no, you are right. Yeah, I remember now.
I think I'm right.
You are right.
It knows your location.
Yeah.
So, if you're in Frontierland and you're trying to say I'm here for Pizza Planet, it's going to tell you you're not close by or something like that. So if you watch your phone, it'll say that the button will pop up like I'm here when you're able to push it, when you're close enough to the area. You don't have to be inside the restaurant. There's a range. I don't know what it is, but I've definitely clicked it before I've gotten to the restaurant, but I can't do it like across the park.
Oh, okay. But I do it while I'm walking there usually.
Yeah, but it's at a certain closeness.
Yeah.
That you have to be.
I don't wait until I'm there waiting. I do it when I'm on my way. So that way it gives them time. By the time I get there, it's usually ready and it'll give you a push notification saying that your order number, blah, blah, blah is ready. Go to such and such window to pick up your food. Yeah.
And they have signs that say mobile order pickup and they ask you your order number and you tell them and then they, give you your food.
So that's how you mobile order food. So what are some of your recommendations besides Pizza Planet? Specifically for lunch.
For lunch. Okay. Well, I mean, we ate dinner here. We talked about it last week, and I always forget the name, but the Mexican restaurant by Big Thunder.
Oh yeah.
We ate it for dinner, but I mean, you could totally eat lunch there. It was really good.
It's it's in Frontierland.
Rancho del
Hold on, I'll find it. I had to find it last time.
Yeah, you did. I can never remember the name of that place, but it's right next to Big Thunder Mountain. And there's bathrooms right there.
Rancho del Zocalo.
So that was really good.
It's really good.
Jolly Holiday is one of my favorites. That one gets busy though. So if you want to try Jolly Holiday,
the times sell out. So I would do a mobile order early. Mm-hmm. They have really great dessert, like pastries. Mm-hmm. So if you want like lunch and a little treat after, the raspberry macaron is super good. The rose raspberry something, but it does sell out. Their grilled cheese is good.
The grilled cheese and tomato soup is super good. When you're in March, it might not be too chilly. Well, whatever. If you want it when it's hot, do whatever you want. I got the oh my gosh, what was it called? And this was heavy though. I mean, it just depends. Everyone has different, what they like for lunch and dinner. I had this for dinner. It's a heavier sandwich. It was really good though.
I'm looking it up.
It was a beef sandwich, and I'm not a big beef person, but I saw it on so many people's Instagrams that I was like, that looks really good. I didn't take a picture of it for your reel.
The beef birria toasted cheese.
Yes, and then it comes with, what was it called?
With pepper jack cheese, onion, cilantro, and salsa verde on sourdough, served with consomme. Is that how you spell it? I mean, say it.
I don't know. But if you dip it in there, it's good.
Yeah.
It was good. It is a bit of a heavier sandwich being beef, but it was really good. So yeah. And Hungry Bear. We love Hungry Bear.
Hungry Bear is good. Over by Splash Mountain.
Down by Splash Mountain. They have like a special for the, I don't know if it's just for the 100 or just their new sandwich, but it's like a cheese potato hamburger. Remember you were going to get it.
I was going to get it.
We didn't end up getting it, but I've heard that it's really good.
Yeah.
Has like almost like a hash brown on it or something.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But I've seen several posts that it's really good, and that's at Hungry Bear, which is over across from Splash Mountain. So yeah, I say those are our like go-tos. Like, yeah, Pizza Planet, Hungry Bear, Jolly Holiday.
Yep.
And then the Rancho, I already forgot.
Another one that's good. I mean, we have kids, and so because we have kids, sometimes we eat like kids, just because it just makes it easy. Especially when you're trying to save money and you just want to share everything. The Stage Door Cafe next to near Pirates.
Oh yes,
they have good chicken strips and fries. If you just want like chicken strips and
they
fries,
have like a chicken sandwich too,
something like that.
Yeah,
super simple, but it's good. It's quick and easy.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something quick, and you just have craving for some chicken tenders.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. So that was his first question. His second question. We do not plan on rope dropping, but plan to be at the park before 9 a.m. My wife's key rides are Pirates in Indiana. Mine are Rise and Smuggler's Run. Mm-hmm. How do you advise we navigate Lightning Lanes, Genie Plus, or Standby to make these key rides flow smoothly?
Okay, is Indiana Jones going to be open?
I believe Indiana Jones is opening up in March.
Oh, I hope it's open for you guys.
When is it?
It's closed
right now.
He's
going March 5th. So let's look at the calendar here.
Tim's going to look for you. Oh, I hope it's open. So while he's looking that up, I will say, if you are setting aside money specifically for an individual Lightning Lane, then yeah, definitely just purchase it for Rise. If you're going in being like okay and cool with purchasing that individual Lightning Lane, then yeah, go for it.
I have bad news.
Oh no,
Indiana Jones is going to be closed.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, March 5th, Indiana Jones is still closed for refurbishment. I think it was originally going to be opening up, but I think they pushed it back because I'm looking at, March 31st, and it's still closed.
It's still closed.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer. Okay, well then I would say go straight to Pirates. Mm-hmm. Most people rope drop Rise.
Yes.
So, excuse me, what we experienced in the summer was until about 9:30, 10 o'clock, the rest of the park was pretty dead.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're in before 9 o'clock, you probably won't even really wait for Pirates.
No.
Maybe
You're
10.
gonna walk. You're gonna walk on it.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Like that time that we said we always get the Adventure Tower and a park view in the Disneyland hotel, and then we went there and we were facing the parking lot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Like days are different.
That's true.
But from what we have witnessed our last 2 trips, being there multiple days each time, the rest of the park is pretty slow for the first hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I would say Pirates, you'll either walk on or just wait a very short time. Like you won't wait long. If you're going to purchase Rise for individual Lightning Lane, then yeah, do that, because the individual Lightning Lane, the wait was over an hour, and but we had the second rider swap, so we got to do individual Lightning Lane and we walked right on.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to purchase that, then whenever you get to choose the time. If you're purchasing individual Lightning Lane, it'll give you, choices.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, you could do that at whatever part of the day. For Smuggler's Run. Oh, and if you're purchasing Genie Plus.
Yeah.
That could be. So you get in the park, buy individual Lightning Lane for Rise. Mm-hmm. Choose your Genie Plus selection for Smugglers, which first thing in the morning, you'd probably get a pretty early time slot.
Yeah.
And then walk to Pirates.
Yeah. Here's what
you could get all 3 of your top, well, not
Not
all 4,
Indiana
not all
Jones.
4 of your rides, but you could get the top 3 rides
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
easily, I think.
Yeah. So I would recommend, if you're getting in the park at 9, go straight to Pirates. While you're in line to Pirates or walking towards Pirates, get your individual Lightning Lane for Rise first, because that's most likely going to be pushed back.
That's what I said.
I know it's what you said. Reiterating, because you're so smart. Mm-hmm. Get your individual lane for Rise, because it's probably going to be pushing back. Some people do buy that. And so it's going to be later in the day. And then right after that, get your Genie Plus for Smuggler's Run.
Yeah. And that, unless, no. If it's one of your top, then I'd say, yeah, get your Genie Plus selection for Smuggler's Run. It will most likely have a pretty early, first thing in the morning. I think it'd probably be a pretty early return. Mm-hmm. When we were there and we did a Genie Plus for it, it was like the return time was in 45 minutes, and that was later in the day. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh, we got a Genie Plus selection, but it's not until tonight because it's so busy. It was in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it early in the morning, it probably, would be pretty soon. But if you want to ride it again, I'd say keep an eye on Smuggler's Run, because it fluctuates. That ride fluctuates a ton. It will be an hour. It will be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it just fluctuates all through the day. So if you see it and it's 20 minutes, I'd say just go for it. And then you'd still have your Genie Plus. You could still Genie Plus it later. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because, so then you'd get to ride it twice.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can only use Genie Plus once per ride.
But if you want to guarantee, then you could do the Genie Plus selection first. But then if you want to ride it again, just keep an eye on it. And when you see it a low wait time, you could go for it that way too. Because every time I've been there, it fluctuates a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And usually in the mornings, the wait time is pretty low.
Yeah.
As everybody goes to Rise. So, okay. So third question. Do we need additional reservations besides Disneyland entry to access the new Star Wars land? No, you don't.
No.
That was only when it first opened up before COVID. Right? That was... Was it before or after COVID?
You didn't need a different reservation.
No, you had to get a boarding pass. It was when they
to
first...
go in the land at all. That's right. That was before we ever went.
Yeah. So when it first
forgot about
opened
that.
up, that's when they started the virtual queue. It was the first time they used virtual queue.
But it was just to go in the land. It
was
wasn't
just
even
to
to
go in.
ride Smuggler's Run. It was just to get into the land. That's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. So no, yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You can walk right in.
Yeah.
No reservations needed.
Yeah.
And his last one, number 4. We cannot afford Disneyland Hotel this year. Do you have recommendations on walking distance good neighbor hotels?
I do. I just stayed, my sister and I stayed at the Anaheim Hotel last month. And it's like a 5, maybe 10-minute walk, 7-minute. It's a real easy walk. It's an older hotel, but has been remodeled. It's clean. Beds were good. We weren't there that much at all. We only stayed one night. And, so, I mean, if you don't care about like experiencing the hotel or anything, I'd say that's a great one. It was the best rate I found. I found a really good rate on Priceline. It was the best one I found. So that's a really good one. A little ways down, it's a little farther of a walk, probably another 5 minutes. So maybe like, 10 to 15, not even 15-minute walk. It's probably a 10-minute walk, is the Portofino Inn.
Yep.
Those rates are a little more and it's a little farther.
Yeah.
But that one, we've stayed there multiple times and it's good. It's clean.
Parking can be a little bit of an issue.
Oh, at the Portofino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parking lot's small. So if you get there later in the day, you might have a hard time finding parking. Another one that's good is the Howard Johnson. We stayed there once. It's a little bit, it's farther north up on Harbor.
Yeah. So it's, and that one's more, a solid 10-minute walk. Anaheim, out of all those, Anaheim Hotel would be the closest. But yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah. There's the Best Western Plus that's right across the street from Disneyland. We stayed there one year. We somehow scored a really good deal there, but it's usually pretty expensive just because how close they are. They're literally
directly across
a rock's throw to...
Not literally a rock's throw, but okay.
It is a rock's throw.
You know how I feel about the word literally.
I know. It just
you need to use it correctly.
Right across the street. I mean, it's closer than a Disneyland hotel. I mean, it's even closer to Disneyland than the Grand Californian is to Disneyland.
Yeah, probably. But the same thing with Anaheim Hotel. It is probably a faster walk. It's on the opposite side. It's on the Harbor Boulevard side.
So you don't walk through downtown Disney.
You don't, but it's probably I'd say it's probably a faster walk from the Anaheim Hotel to the gate than from the Disneyland Hotel to the gate.
Yeah.
It's super fast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
there's some.
Those are some of our picks.
Yeah.
I recommend just going into kayak.com.
Yeah, that's where I found the good Priceline deal. Yeah.
Search Disneyland, put in your dates, and it'll show you a map with all the prices, and just kind of pick and choose. Those hotels that we mentioned, we've had good success with those. Some hotels around there are a little sketch, depending how far you go. Just make sure to read the reviews and read that. But yeah, those three are pretty good.
Yeah.
So, all right, those are his 4 questions. So thank you so much, Roman, for reaching out for the review and also the questions.
Time. I hope you have a great time. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
And if you end up staying for more than one day.
Yeah. Let us know if you convince your wife into going to California Adventure the next day. So,
or if any of our tips are helpful.
Yeah.
If you post anything on Instagram,
tag us.
Tag us. And we'll share it. Yeah. Have a great time.
So let's get into our second day and multiple days of our trip. So we went to California Adventure on day 2, which was a Tuesday. And I don't even remember what we did.
I know.
What did we do?
Well, I mean, we did a lot. Like I said, we got Genie Plus, and it wasn't a very busy day. It didn't feel crazy.
No.
The day we left, of course, was like super slow. It's always the day we're leaving that's like slow, and so we never want to leave. But we were able to do everything. I think we started with Incredicoaster, maybe. Yeah, we did. And we didn't even have to use a Genie Plus for it. That's right. Okay.
Or no, I thought we did Toy Story Mania.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think we did Toy Story Mania.
You're right. We did Toy Story Mania. We got it as soon as we walked in. We got a Genie Plus for Toy Story Mania, and it was in like 15 minutes. So you guys got some coffee. Did Toy Story Mania. Always a great time. I was not holding Gigi.
Hot tip about coffee.
She didn't like.
So
I was telling you about Gigi not liking Toy Story Mania.
I know.
Everyone really wants to know how she read.
Coffee is very important to us.
Very.
And Disneyland and California Adventure have Starbucks inside the parks, but they are very popular and they do not offer mobile order. So they are
inside the park. The one in Downtown Disney does.
Downtown Disney does. Inside the park does not. So Downtown Disney uses the Starbucks app, your typical Starbucks mobile order ways, but inside the park does not. So those are a big time suck if you're trying to get somewhere because the lines get long. There is the coffee cart. Joffrey's coffee cart, which is right near the entrance of Paradise Pier. Pixar Pier. It does offer mobile order. We got a little bit late, and so it did suck up a lot of time.
That was weird though, because when we in the summertime, it was just us. We were rope dropping. We were trying to get on racers, and you mobile ordered. I headed to Cars Land, and by the time I got to racers at the end of the street of Cars Land, you were already like pretty much right behind me.
Yeah.
So that day it did not take long.
No.
This day you guys were waiting a long time.
We were waiting a long time. Well, part of the reason was the mobile order window was about 10, 15 minutes later than when we got in. So we had to wait for our window to become available and then say we're here.
I feel like we waited for a good
it seemed like 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Because I went, I bought a shirt. I went to the bathroom. It
was way too long.
Yeah. But because I don't know what time we got in the park. It was a little after 8.
And we were in line for Toy Story at a little after 9.
Yeah, I have a picture of you guys waiting for your coffee at 8:42. So yeah, it just took a little while. But yeah, so we did Toy Story Mania. We got off of that. And again, with a Genie Plus, you like walk right on pretty much. We really didn't wait. And we looked, and Incredicoaster, it was only like a 15-minute wait. And so everyone really wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And so most of our group had not been on it since they rethemed it. And so we did the rider swap, split up. Both groups went, and it did not take long. And we all loved it.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to use a Genie Plus for it. So that was great. While we did that, we got a Genie Plus for Guardians, because Boston was super excited to go on that again.
Yep.
And so we headed and did that. That takes longer, because even if you get a Genie Plus for that, you skip the first half of the line. But then once you go in the elevators and then go up, then you're just in the regular line.
Yeah.
So for some rides, like I said, individual lightning lane, you pretty much walk on. Guardians, you're still waiting. We waited probably at least 20 minutes. And so with rider swap, that takes a good chunk of time.
Yeah. There's more to that ride than just the line.
But it's amazing. Wonderful. Got lunch. There's a big chunk of time where I don't have. We did Soarin'. Again, we had to swap for that because Georgia can't ride that. So with California Adventure, there's bigger rides. There's less rides that toddlers can ride. So if you're doing rider swap, things just go a little slower in California Adventure. There's not as much to be like, oh, you go do that and we'll take the baby to Fantasyland and ride Dumbo. Like there's not really that.
There was when there was Bugs Land.
Well, yes, there was. I was going to say something, but that's later. Yeah. I wish they could have just expanded somehow and left Bugs Land, because we would do that when the boys were little, when the two oldest were little, and we would do rider swap for Tower of Terror at the time. Yeah. We would take the boys into Bugs Land and do the little train and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do have like the carousel, Ariel, the Inside Out ride, which is being refurbished. But those are like way down on Pixar Pier. So if you're all the way over in Adventures Campus, it's like you're not going to really want to do that. But anyways, had a good strawberry shortcake milkshake at, what's that place called?
Smoke Jumpers.
Smoke Jumpers by Soren. If you like strawberry milkshakes, it's good. It's really good.
That's another good lunch spot. That's kind of another go-to for us. Burgers, chicken strips.
Good shakes.
Yeah. Good.
They usually have like a featured milkshake, I think, or something. Yeah. But that's in California.
Yeah. So, California Adventure.
So yeah, we did swings. We did, I'm just trying to think. We all kind of hit a pretty good wall.
Yeah.
And just sat. We
were waiting for racers.
We were going to try it because none of us wanted to purchase an individual lightning lane for racers.
$20 a pop.
$20 a person. And for us, 3 of our 4 kids can and love to ride it. So that's a lot of extra money when we're already paying for Genie Plus. So we're like, no, even though it's one of my favorite rides, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. So it went down. So we were like, hey, we didn't really have anything planned, and we're like, if we head over there, maybe
it broke down. You mean not like the time went down?
I'm sorry. The
road broke.
The ride broke down. So we're like, hey, if we hang out there, we were all kind of just wanting to like sit for a while. Maybe it'll reopen and we can like just see. We didn't have anything else to do right then, so everyone was kind of cool with that. And we sat outside. What were we waiting for?
We were waiting for.
But did someone go on a ride?
No, we were all just sitting there waiting.
You went and got a milkshake?
I got a milkshake from Schmoozie's, the Steamboat Willie cookies and cream shake from Schmoozie's.
For the 100.
So good.
Really good.
Super rich, but so good.
Yeah, Georgia was sleeping. We had a lightning lane for web slingers.
Oh, that's right.
But it wasn't for like an hour. It wasn't for an hour. So we were letting the baby sleep because she can go on that. So we were letting her sleep. And honestly, we all just sat on the ground outside of Flo's. And then eventually a bench opened up. Half of us went and sat on the bench. And just we're starting to doze off. We were all kind of done. And racers did not reopen in time. I was like, even if it opens now, it's too late for our web slingers time. So we all got to go on web slingers. That one is fun. Everyone can go on it, so that's nice. I'm always surprised that doesn't freak Gigi out. She did get a little bit, she would grab my arm a bit, but
she didn't like when I took her on it.
The second time.
The
next day.
The other day.
Yeah. With me, sometimes she would kind of whine, but then it was almost like she whined when we were changing scenes, like she wanted to go back. But yeah, after that, I think we split up a bit. We went, I think Incredicoaster was a low wait again. So most of our group wanted to do that again. So they all went and did that. And we took our kids on the Little Mermaid ride. Because Georgia's been getting into Ariel a little more. And so we wanted to do that. And then we were meeting back for dinner. We all kind of split up for dinner too. We did our own thing for dinner because everyone kind of wanted different things, different dietary things. So
we were meeting somewhere and we were walking by the swings and it was like a 5-minute wait. So I took the boys.
That was later.
No, that's at 5:30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because we were meeting them at Bing Bong's candy shop. That's right. That was after we ate.
No, it was after Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay.
Because we took pictures down by the pier.
Yes.
And then we were walking back over to Bing Bong's store.
That's right. We
and
did.
then
That's right.
We did. I took the boys on the swings, freaked Jack out.
Yeah, he didn't like the swings.
And then we decided to ride Incredicoaster again.
Right, because we hadn't. So most of our group went, and they're all adults. So they went. When we took the kids on Little Mermaid. They didn't use an individual, or they didn't use a Genie Plus for it then either. The wait was only like 20 minutes. So they all wanted to go do that. So then once we got done with Ariel and we were meeting back up with them, we were like, hey, we haven't done a Genie Plus selection for it. So we could get a Genie Plus selection for it and ride it. And you and I wanted to ride it again. So we asked, them if they'd watch our kids. And then they were like, wait, we can use Genie Plus. So then they wanted to go on again. They rode it. I think we rode it twice.
Yeah.
You and I rode it twice in the day. They all rode it 4 times that day.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like
They just
2
kept
times, after 2 times, I'm done. Yeah. Because I'm old.
So yeah, so we got to go on that again, and it had just gotten dark, and it's so good at night. It's one of those ones that if you can get it at night, do it because it's so much fun at night.
Yeah.
And then we ate. And then so after dinner, we had gotten the Genie Plus or the virtual queue for World of Color. One, it's their new World of Color show.
Yep.
I really wanted to watch it because we had missed it over the summer, and I really wanted to watch World of Color. And so after dinner, we didn't really have time to ride a ride. Some of our group went to do. Oh, they were going to run to do Guardians.
Yeah.
And they were going to take Boston with them.
Yeah.
But then the wait shot up to an hour, and we were like, no, you can't take him for an hour.
Yeah.
So then just because we didn't want to miss World of Color, we needed to get in line for that. And we didn't want be like, oh shoot, where's our, half of our group. So then they went and took him to do Goofy Sky School because he just wanted to do another big ride. And then we were going to go do Mickey's Philharmagic. But then we got there and it was just kind of pushing it for World of Color because even though you can just walk in, there's no reserved seating. You want to get.
Yeah. So how the virtual queue works for World of Color, there's 2 viewing areas. There's blue and yellow or
green, or
blue and green. So when you do a virtual queue, on nights that there's 2 showings, this night there was only 1 showing. It'll tell you which showing that you're going to, and then which entrance you go into, either blue or green. And so that area opens up 45 minutes before. And so it allows you to get into the good viewing areas. But then once you're in, it's a free for all. It's you need to claim your spot. If you don't have a virtual queue, then you have to either stand up on the pier, the bridge going into Pixar Pier, or along the back of near where Ariel's is.
in front of Ariel.
And so you don't get any of the good spots. So this allows you to get up closer, but you need to get there early if you want a good spot.
If you want to get in line for getting into the virtual queue area. The earlier you are in line, you're going to be first into the area and can pick a good spot.
Yeah. And especially if you have kids, you want to be along a railing so you don't have anybody standing in front of you.
Which we very rarely had great viewing. Honestly, it's hard. And if you're short, it's difficult. I'm not going to lie. I've never gotten there super, super early. Just because it's you want to do other things. It's hard.
But we had pretty good spot.
It turned out to be okay.
Because we had a family with kids in front of us, and they saw that we had kids, and so they kind of positioned themselves so that our kids could see.
Which was really nice. And that's the thing about being a short adult. People don't rearrange things for you because you're not a kid, but you're still short. My 12-year-old is as tall as me, pretty much. So people are oh yeah, he can come up here. I'm what about me? Even the year that I was pregnant with Boston, it was the World of Color, the 60th. It was so good. So good. And I got a wheelchair because I had a lot of pain. So they saw that and they're like, oh, come in. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. I was going to leave the wheelchair out and walk in because I could walk. It was just going long distances. I'd have a lot of back and hip pain. So I got it. And the cast member was like, no, it's fine. Use it. So he put us in like a really good spot.
Yeah.
But even then, and I got to sit.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, this is going to be great. I get to sit during the whole thing and get a good spot. There was a huge speaker right in front of me, so I couldn't see anything. So it's tricky. It's tricky. I would love to one day do the dessert package and get like those like tables. Like I would love to do that. But anyways, so we didn't do Mickey's Philhar Magic. We walked through the animation building for a while because it's just cool. Even if you don't do any of the things you can do in there, just seeing all the screens and the songs, it's great. And then you went to get in line. I really wanted like a hot chocolate. It was cold. I wanted like a treat for World of Color. I went and did that. I was stressed because there was a line. Yeah. And I was like starting to stress out a bit. I snapped at a lady and I shouldn't say I never do that. I have my moments. But okay, so we were like racing back to meet you. Yeah. I had Georgia. I was carrying her. I didn't have a stroller. I had the little like seat thing. Yeah. My little tush baby. And I had a hot chocolate and a couple of our friends then had met up with me. So I'm trying to find you. We get to the viewing, like where you can go into the viewing area and it's packed. People like it's tight in there. I'm holding Georgia. I have a hot chocolate. People are like, the line is getting small. Everyone's going in single file, going different directions. And someone in our group just disappeared. And I didn't know where he went. Yeah. And he didn't have his,
he didn't have his pass.
Pass wasn't on his phone to get in. And I'm like, does he know he needs it? He doesn't have it. Where did he go? He just like took off in the opposite direction and I didn't know why. So I'm like looking for him. This lady who has a stroller. So she has a stroller. I'm carrying a baby. Yeah. Or a toddler. Okay. She's whatever. And she goes, not a great place to stop. And I didn't stop. I like turned to look behind me. Yeah. And I was still walking. I did slow down, but I like turned to look behind me to look for my group. And I was like, well, then you could just say, excuse me. And she just like looked at me and I was like, you don't have to be mean. Like, just say, excuse me. Yeah. Disneyland people just stop in front of you all the time. Is it annoying? Yes. Did I do it? Crazy. Like, but like, it's not like I was the only person. We were in a very tight crowd of people. Had I kept walking, she still would have had to slow down and maneuver around people. It was super crowded. Yeah. And I was like, okay, look, I know it's evening. You're done. I'm done. But like, come on. Like, just say, excuse me. Anyways. We got in, we found you. It was fine. I was like, hey, lady, I'm done too. Okay. You got 2 kids. I got 4. But yeah. So World of Color 1 is really cool. World of Color is great. Just the show itself. It was not my favorite of the World of Colors. No, I think the original, I probably like the original more. Yeah. The 60th is hands down the best, my favorite. It was amazing. That one like pulled at your heartstrings a lot. And this one, like there were parts, like they had a good Lion King part. It was a different, like they used different songs from movies that they don't typically use. Yeah. They used like, lines that Mufasa says. It wasn't just like Circle of Life, it wasn't, the opening song like it typically would be. I liked the Avengers part. Yeah. I liked most of the Star Wars part.
Of course you did.
But it definitely worth seeing. Yeah. Like definitely worth seeing. But it's not my favorite World of Color show, but I would like, I'd go for it. Like it's fun. It's cool.
Yeah, you gotta see it at least once. I'd say if we went again, I would probably skip it.
Yeah, unless we got to do like that dessert package thing.
Well, yeah.
But with the kids and stuff, I would take the time probably to do rides if they would rather do that. I think seeing it once is like, unless it's like your favorite thing, and then see it as much as you want. But I would definitely see it. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, it's not worth it. Just skip it. Like I would definitely see it.
Yeah.
One thing I realized, we didn't even try or think about Phantasmic. Were they doing Phantasmic when we were there?
No, they weren't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen that in years.
No, it's been a long time.
I'd like to see that again. It's been a really long time. But anyways, and then after that, the park was closed.
Yeah.
So everyone headed out. That's the only thing I don't like when World of Color, when the park closes, when World of Color starts. So, because then everyone is leaving.
Yeah.
So getting out, it's a little, if you're claustrophobic, if you don't like being squished, it's a bit rough. You just kind of have to like look down or look in front of you. If you're with a group, make sure going with, I think we put one kid in the stroller and then I carried Georgia. So we put Boston in the stroller. So we only had 2 kids that we had to like keep an eye on, because it's a little crazy getting out of there.
Yeah. And then taking the tram back to the parking garage.
Because everyone's leaving when the park closes. So everyone's leaving at the same time. So that was a longer wait.
Everybody's going to the parking and
Boston was out.
He was so dead asleep.
Yeah.
By the time we got there.
Well, he fell asleep during World of Color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when, it was our turn to get onto the tram, trying to pull him out of the stroller to collapse it.
He just kept trying to lay on the floor.
And then, talking about, the lady that got mad at you. There was a guy that got upset at me because we weren't ready to get on the tram yet.
Yeah, he was a little irritated with us.
So,
like, there's 6 of us. Or no, we had a part of our group with us, so there was 8 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got irritated that we weren't ready. And he's like, "Can I go?"
And we said yes.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, go ahead. We're not ready yet. And so he went ahead, but he was a little testy about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that part, it's always stressful. It's like trying to collapse a stroller because you have to take things out and it's like trying not to lose things. We
covered that last week with the strollers and the trams, but second day was great. We were all exhausted. We did everything. We did everything and Incredicoaster multiple times.
Yeah.
We did the Monsters ride. We did Ariel. At one point, the little kids did the carousel. Inside Out ride was down. Grizzly River was down. We didn't do racers. So we never got to racers with our group.
Yeah, we did it.
And we did it later on our own. Day. But with our group, we didn't get to that day. But that's because we didn't want to purchase individual Lightning Lane. Yeah. And we ate at Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta.
Yeah.
Which is another go-to for us in California Adventure. Pasta is great, I think. I got a hot chocolate at Ghirardelli. Yeah. Great. I didn't get to try it. I'm hoping I get there while they still have it. The churro cart in, what do they call the circle? Like Buena Vista Circle? What is that?
Buena Vista Street?
Like Buena Vista Street in the center. It's the churro cart. If you're turning right to go towards Soarin', they have a lemon something.
Oh, that's
churro.
Right. It's like a lemon bar churro.
Because, apparently Walt Disney loved lemon. So there's a lot of lemon themed things right now. I love lemon. I didn't get any of the lemon things. I wanted it, but there was a long line and we were on our way to something and I never got back to it. So next time I'd like to try that one.
So that was the first 2 days, and I think we're gonna end it here. But we have a lot more to talk about. This trip we focused a lot on the food because that's something that we've always wanted to
Yeah, we tried things we've been wanting to try. Like I mentioned, the beef sandwich at Jolly Holiday. I've been wanting to try that. That was new for me. The croissant I talked about. That was new for me.
Cold brew at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about some things we tried. Some sad things that happened. Yeah. Some tragedies.
Yeah. That was, we had a rough end.
It was a rough end. Yeah.
But all is good now.
Well,
somewhat.
Artificially.
Artificially.
Okay. So what was your favorite memory from day 2, if you can remember?
favorite memory.
Feels like a million years ago.
Taking Gigi on Luigi's was pretty fun.
That wasn't the second day.
That wasn't the second day? Oh my gosh.
You're skipping forward to next week.
Okay.
Oh, I've got some good video to share on Instagram.
Man, it's a good memory. Taking Boston on Guardians is always amazing.
It is always so
He
fun.
loves that ride.
And he went twice again. He went with both groups.
Yeah.
Almost got to ride it a third time. Yeah, I got to go on it with our friend who had never been to Disneyland. But he was just he was sitting next to Boston and kind of keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
But,
Toy Story Mania was fun. This time, because our friend who's never gone, he's a gamer. He loves games.
Did you ride with him?
I did.
You rode with him. Yeah.
And he's a gamer. And so he got a kick out of all these rides that are like gamified.
Yeah.
So like, Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, and then Toy Story Mania and Web Slingers. So when I would tell him, I was like, okay, this is a game ride, he would get all like excited. and so, it was fun to have the competition. My goal is to eventually break 200,000 on Toy Story Mania. Right. I know that the guys on Disney World is awesome.
Right. One of them did, yeah.
One of them broke 200,000. It's my goal to break that.
What did you get?
Do you remember? 155.
You got a ways.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm a 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. So next time we go, I had a handicap because my shooter thing, it was like stuck. It wouldn't go,
like
up
retract all the way.
No, I couldn't aim because it was like sticky. It wouldn't go up and down.
Oh,
and
that's
so
horrible.
so I wasn't able to it wasn't as loose as they usually are. And then I usually sit on the left side. I was sitting on the right side this time, and so because I usually go with one of the kids, and the kids always go in first, and so I was sitting.
I usually sit
on the right side, and I'm left-handed. And so I sat next to someone I'm left-handed, and I sat next to someone who's right-handed. So
you were on the right side, so you guys were
bumping elbows, and so trying to aim. It was not my best. Right. So, but Yeah. What about you?
I don't know.
No good memories.
Nothing.
We were also getting over a cold.
Right. Yeah. We were feeling better, but it was still like some dragging moments. Guardians, getting to go with the group that I rode with was super fun. Also who I rode Toy Story Mania with. We had fun. I got to recreate, we have a picture of the 3 boys down on Pixar Pier on the bench from Boston.
Oh yeah.
Boston's only, what would he have been? 9 months. And so I wanted to get this picture of the 4 kids last year when Gigi was like around a year, or I guess over the summer, because last year we were in Disney World when she was still younger, but we just didn't get to it. But we got to do it this time, and so I liked just getting that picture of the 4 of them in that spot, and then taking her on Ariel. She really liked it.
Yeah.
I got to take Boston. I got to take Boston on the swings for the first time.
Oh yeah.
He had never done the swings. And so I got to take him on that, and he was like laughing and like, whoa, like he really liked it. So that was fun. Yeah. Getting to take him on that for the first time. I did that with Noah for the first time 2 years ago, and he really likes it. And so that was good. It was a good day. It was fun.
It was.
Yeah.
So that's it for this episode. We got more to talk about. And in the meantime, you got questions like Roman, send us a message on Instagram.
Wait, is it Roman or Rowan?
Roman.
Oh, I thought you said Rowan. I'm sorry. I called you Rowan.
I thought you were saying Roman. It's Roman.
Maybe I was. Yes, I was.
Yeah. You were saying Roman.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I feel it because everyone always mispronounces my name. So I'm sorry.
So if you have questions, feel free to reach out. We'll do our best to answer them. And leave a review. We appreciate the reviews.
It made we were very excited for your comment and your questions. So
it was very cool.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Where are we
sorry. Dreaming.of.disney.podcast.
That's right.
It might just come up if you search Dreaming of Disney.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.